I'm Sean Dusek, your superintendent. Welcome back to the new school year as we continue along the journey to support our students to become lifelong learners for their future. As you know, this requires a relentless focus on positive student relationships. I'm confident that everyone in this district wants to meet the individual needs of our students. Our focus is not about being cutting edge or first. It is about our different students with different experiences who need different supports at different times. KPBSD is about people, not programs. You are trusted and are being supported as we fine-tune our instructional approach and focus on what is truly important, our kids. We've heard this before. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I'm looking forward to moving forward together with all of you. It's an honor to recognize our staff who have put in many years with our school district. They are builders and have great passion for education. So I want to thank Amy, Dave, Steve, Phil, Greg, Carol, and Cindy for all of the years they've put in and the difference they've made for all of our kids. I also want us to remember that we have over 60 new teachers to our district. It's very, very important to recognize they come with a great deal of experience, either through their work in college or from other districts. So please take the time to help me welcome them to your schools and also support them as they learn the Kenai way. It's important also to recognize the nature of our district. We are 43 schools, nearly 9,000 students, a pre-K through 12 system with a growing diversity both culturally and economically. We're evolving in our practices. We get good results, and we utilize a very solid strategic plan to shift perspectives and leverage the tools we have to help our students grow and become lifelong learners. But as always, our focus has been on Maslow first. We believe in meeting the basic needs of our students. Then we get to bloom. In order to do that, we focus on the 3 R's, with relationships being the foundation of our district. Of course, then we have a lot of rigor going on in all of our classrooms, along with relevance, which is supported through our personalized efforts. I've been asked a lot about research and how that impacts what we do in this school district. One of the best ways to get research is through asking our students. And through student voice, we've discovered something, that they do want and believe in a caring teacher, but we maybe aren't doing that as well as we think we are. So it's very, very important to continue to get student voice and make sure in your schools right away this year, see what your students talked about from the last spring survey. We focused our instruction through personalized learning to help develop those relationships. Again, there's emerging research that's very promising in the practices that we're looking to adopt in every single classroom. We're utilizing our teachers as leaders to support a relevant instructional system to further engage our students in thinking, collaborating, creating, and just becoming good people. For me, the individual needs of students is not a program. It's just simply the right thing to do. And we are building upon that philosophy together. One other big piece of research that we rely on is from Hattie, and he's come up with 10 mind frames, or as we call it, teacher mindsets. The first one is, know thy effect. What does that mean? Teachers have a fundamental role to evaluate the effect of teaching on students' learning. That's important. Understand your effect on your kids. You're also a change agent. Success and failure of students' learning is about what a teacher does or doesn't do. Please keep that in mind. Change is incredibly important to meet individual student needs. The teacher mindset of talking more about learning instead of teaching keeps the student at the center of the conversation. The effect size on that in the classroom is incredible. It's about what you believe students can do and keeping them at the center. A Assessment is about my impact. My assessments, including formative assessments, anything that you do to see where students stand in regards to standards or what you expect them to learn, that's a reflection on the teacher's effort more than the students. Again, that's a mindset approach. Believing all students can learn is critical, and using information on where they stand and changing your practice on individual needs makes the biggest impact. Teacher mindset on teaching through dialogue versus monologue is very important. What this means is there's a lot more listening by teachers than talking. That's critically important now for our kids as their brains change and stimulus around them is rapidly changing. Listening to what they need and their responses and digging deeper with them through questions instead of telling is incredibly important. Also, being able to take on challenges and don't fear failure. That is the best way to learn, according to Hattie, is making errors and then learn from them and keep moving forward. Not every day is going to be perfect in the classroom. I get that. I was there for many years myself. But learning from what happened, making adjustments, and meeting those individual needs, that's the important thing. And that's mindset. Also, and again, we come back to this, positive relationships. We talk about that over and over in the Kenai. That's the foundation of our district. And it's not only in the classroom, it's in the staff room. Because as we know, teamwork is so, so important. And when we talk about the language of learning, that's not just talking with your peers about learning, that's talking with the community. We need to be able to demonstrate and to talk about what successful impact looks like. Collaboration has been a foundational element of our school district for many years. As we continue to refine our practices with collaboration, we will be able to support each other in meeting those individual needs. And finally, teachers give and take feedback. That's important. When you give feedback to students, help them understand exactly what that feedback means and how it will help them move forward. Also, interpret the feedback that you get and act on it appropriately. There's some other research that I do literally every day, and that is through my observations in classrooms. What I see in the classrooms around the district is pretty incredible. Now I'm starting to see very intentional centers at the elementary level. If you're not familiar with centers, that's really a grouping strategy to help kids with different learning styles move through and learn various standards as set up by the teacher. And there's a lot of fun in it. I know kids really enjoy those Friday center days. But now we're really utilizing technology to leverage learning with kids in different modalities. And also, we are building creativity through this by the art activities, the music activities that go along with those centers. They're intentionally set up as we fine-tune the grouping strategies that are critical to those centers. I also see some other opportunities for kids. The Upstream Academy is just one of those examples. That's where we take learning outside the classroom that is very relevant, most recently with drones and working with engineers, and then also being with kids of similar cultures to keep learning from each other, and then also moving forward with kids from different cultures so that we can expand respect and becoming good people with each other through understanding. Finally, a really exciting development that's happened at one of our high schools in Seward is the whole heat exchange project, where our students looked at a problem, they brainstormed with their teachers through a collaborative effort using many science and math standards, ended up working with some engineers and have come up with a proposal where we could save hundreds of thousands of dollars in heating the pool at Seward High School. The next steps in this process are, as we pass this along through our engineering and pre-engineering classes in Seward, is to make this project a reality so that we can save some money, but also kids can see they're making a real difference on real problems in our district. I come back to this slide often where we see an iceberg, and all people really see are those kids that maybe walk across the stage as graduates. And they may see the test scores and a little bit of that. Sometimes they'll see some sports achievements. But really, the biggest thing is what's happening below the surface. And I think that the number one impact on student learning is really a teacher's belief that they make a difference with all students, and all students can learn. That happens below the surface. What we're really shooting for here is that the system should fit the student and move from the student fitting into the system. This takes a constant amount of work and attention. And again, it happens below the surface. Sometimes there's disappointment. Sometimes there's failure. But for the most part, because our teachers and our staff persevere, I see it every day, that success rises above the surface for the most part, and we continue to show all of that attention. I know sometimes we don't get the recognition from the general public that we believe that we deserve. We all work hard on that, and that is part of our communication efforts. And as you continue to refine the language of learning, you too can help in the effort of the public understanding what happens below the surface. I know that we're providing our students what they want. First and foremost, a caring teacher, relevance, real-time feedback, and helping them become better learners and more efficient and effective with what they're working on. That's a credit to you. Now, let's help everyone see what's happening below the surface, where you are doing great work every day. So please remember, as we go along this journey, this district and every one of our schools is about people, and we are focused on positive student relationships. The days may go slow, but the years will go fast, believe me. So enjoy this journey and realize that you make a difference every single day with our kids. I look forward to seeing all of you throughout this year, and I want to thank you for all you do to support our students on their journey of lifelong learning for their future. Thank you and have a great year.